So it is day 4 of Duel Links' 4th anniversary with our Glossy SR Dream Ticket. As always, let's dive in and see what we can get with our Dream Ticket. Let's take a look. So the SR Dream Ticket is a bit of a funny one because obviously we have like 3 times as many choices as we do for the UR one. And it's not always kind of obvious as to what's good because super rares fall out of the meta way quicker than ultra rares do. We will take a look and see. Again, you have the entire year to do this till January 31st of next year. So, of course, again, standard thing, you can wait a year. The best thing to do is to wait a year, see what happens in the meta. If things change, then you can make a more informed pick. If not, go for whatever you want. Do not use this on event cards like Toon Goblin Attack Force. I know you could get it from the from the login bonus, but you don't need 2 of them that desperately. Do not use it on round rewards, which might be, it might be tempting to do that, but again, you can get them with the standard SR tickets. But the real thing, go here, go to boxes, and now you are filtered by things in structure decks and in boxes. Of course, again, really as well, don't do structure deck cards. And I know I said in my ultra one that you might want to get the UR Gaga coat, but the SRs from this box aren't very good. So the last box we had up to the Valkyrie box, which means that Karma Cut is legible. Now the reason why it's not here is because this is done by original release order, so it'll be way down the line back in like March time, so we'll get to there whenever we get there. But first of all, Scrapyard, this card in a TCG just got, when the OCG release, got a brand new target for it, a Dino target, which if it came to Duel Links might be pretty big. It's going to take a while for it to come anyway, but in a year's time, this might be a very good card to kind of go for if you really want to, but again, that's a very niche kind of use case. Really, what's good, like Infertility Launcher, if you're playing Infinities, you have 3 already because you went into that box. That's fine. Megaliths might be a decent shout because they are missing some cards still that might be worth getting a couple of. Because if they get, what is it? I think it's Fool. I think it's Fool. They're gonna get infinitely better. So they might be one to watch out for, as well as the Math Mechs. Like, they have some Exceeders they can get, which I don't think they're going to make the deck top tier, but might make this guy, especially for being generic, a little bit easier to kind of bring out. Evil Eye stuff, of course, if you haven't already. Oh my god, I completely forgot I didn't go and get Lord Gaia. This is a card I really wanted to get, so I might at some point use my ticket on this, but for now, no, I don't recommend it. It's not seeing play, just a card that I do enjoy. Again, don't touch these guys. Do not touch the Mayakashi stuff. Really? Because we have most of the cards we can get, I think, apart from the Link and apart from the level 10, which I think we can't get anyway. So they're not ever really going to get much better. DDDs are a very good candidate for more support. They have more synchros, more exceeds, more fusions that they can get over time. So they might be a very good option to kind of keep an eye on, because the deck's very explosive. When it gets its plays off, you can make a board full of a synchro and exceeds, a synchro, a fusion, and a big tribute very, very easily. With exceeds in the mix, they can do some pretty big things. What else do we have? Faris? No, Increase. Increase, I think you run at a 1 of, I think. So really not too big of a... There it is. There's Karma Cut. If you haven't got Karma Cut already, you should probably go and get this. It's too good to not get. If you're playing Blue Eyes, it's going to be very good because you can obviously discard your Ancients with it, which then triggers the summon, which you can then have the Ancient in the graveyard to then recycle back your alternatives. So, a good card that's not... I don't think they're going to hit it anytime soon. I think it's going to be a long time because it's a card that still sells boxes and is one that, if you have 1 copy of, having a second is a very big deal. Then we have the Moonlight stuff, which I think it's fine to have 2 copies of each. It's fine. Sage. Now, if you're free to play Blue Eyes, you might want to use your ticket on this. However, honestly, if I was being free to play Blue Eyes, what I would do is I would go for Karma Cut and then just go and dive into that box, because you're going to be going to that box anyway for more sages and for the synchro. So you don't really need to spend it on Sage, but Sage is a very good option if you already have your Karma Cuts. Sage is a great option. Same with Raiden as well. Raiden is also very good, but in selection box, so if you went into that, you might have him already. Same with Charge. Obviously kind of sucks that Charge got hit to 2, but still, Raiden a very good starter card for your synchro plays, a very good card there. What else? Like, Barkion might be a decent pick for the future. It depends on how, well, right now, we are in a very heavy trap game, but we have just got Book of Moon to the mix, which is going to be doing some things. So maybe as we get more Naturia support, you might want to pick this guy up. He's a very good generic synchro, well, generic for Earth decks, but in the right strategy, he can be pretty decent, so I could see this card being very good going forward. Of course, Cyber Dragon Core, if you haven't got 3 of them, you might want to get 3 of them. They're too good not to kind of have, so should probably get on that one. Cyblo as well, I feel like you can get, but again, you're going to that box multiple times, you're getting multiple copies of Cyber, the Chimera tech, so really you might not need that. That's now this guy, Psy Reflector. Now this is hard actually. I would have said this if a Summon Activate was obtainable elsewhere. It's not. Because if this card was, if you could get Activate elsewhere, this would have been a really cool pick as a bit of a rogue pick, because this card can just set off a ton of combos to get you into some really big monsters. So I quite like this little combo. This was a very fun combo to come from the Structure deck, but again, Structure deck card, kind of niche, kind of one you don't really want to go into. Blackwing players, you should have this already. I think they're only running 1 of them now, if any. So, not the best shout. Super Team Buddy Force Unite has been seeing play for a while. It's very good in Tellarknights, very, very good in that deck. And I think it'll be one that we'll continue to see play for a while. So if you haven't got them already, might be worth looking into. A very good trap card, again, that goes hand in hand with Karma Cut. If you want a decent budget back row for some decks that like spamming out monsters, then triple Karma Cut, triple Buddy Force is always a decent lineup. Let's not talk about the Invoke guys, just to ignore them again. Every is a great card to go for. Just a very good generic synchro. You can, well, kind of generic, does require spellcasters, but Blue Eyes can, Blue Eyes can't run this. Lightsworn can run this. The Spore Synchro Exceeds deck can run this. I quite like that combo. So Every is a good shout and still a very good card that does see play in the King of Games ladder. You are going to see this on ranked at some point. Then we have, scrolling down, anything else that's really, like White Aura Dolphin as well is kind of decent. It's for synchro decks. It does have a very cool effect, so another one that might be good. Block Dragon in the future could cause some real issues, but nothing's really made it broken right now, so don't really see the point in that one. Of course, Magnets, if you're trying to play Magnets, then maybe you want to get a third alpha, which is always a good thing. Trimids have also been a decent ranked deck for a while now. If your opponent doesn't know what to do against them, then they do struggle quite hard. So if you know how to play a deck well, you can get some easy wins with Trimids. And of course, I mean, I think it's a mini box as well. So really, you shouldn't need to get more of this. But if you do, fine. Do not bother getting Red Eyes Fusion. Like, please don't waste your tickets on this card. There is a very, 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 very slim chance Dragoon is ever coming to the game. If he does, then this card will be broken, but he won't be doing that, so really, you don't need it. Cave Clash, Final Battle's kind of cool as well. Again, we're missing a ton of Subterra cards, but they're in a main box, so if we were to get more support, then they would be even better. And of course, they do flip, so Book of Moon does work quite nicely, which would be kind of nice, wouldn't it, to give, you know, more Subterra support when they reprint Book of Moon, which might be in September, but still, not bad. Goliath is some decent removal if you're playing that kind of deck, but nothing too special there. Mistworm is a card I kind of was surprised that Spore isn't here yet. There he is. There's Spore. If you haven't got this card and you do quite enjoy that Spore combo deck, having 3 is kind of essential. It's your starter card. It's very, very fun. And as we get more Xyzes that are of that rank 3, the deck's only going to get better and better and better. Of course, it is a bit of a volatile card in that if your opponent does disrupt that play, your deck kind of loses, but it's a fun little engine you can tech into Dark Magician, into Blue Eyes, into Light Spawn, into any of these different decks that might someday be pretty decent. Solid Soldier could be good again in the future if heroes do get some more support. They are, of course. We all know heroes are missing a ton of support cards, and it's only due course until they do get some more that might make Solid Soldier a good pick again, but as something that's been out for a while now, And then we're kind of getting into the like Bujin Crane. Very, very good card for the archetype. If they're getting more support, that would be cool. Harpies, they might get some XC stuff, but not the best picks. Blue Eye stuff, you don't need to. These guys will be reprinted in the structure deck. You don't need them at all. The Atlantean stuff is kind of nice for Shark skill. If you're playing the Deep Sea Diva Shark deck, and you can make them all rank 4, and you can go level 4, going for rank 4 XCs. These guys are pretty good. But in terms of meta-relevant stuff, like things that are going to be properly helping your metagame, it feels like Karma Cut is like the biggest go-to option. Like, again, don't get Gorilla because he'll likely be reprinted if they do a structure deck on these guys. Where are our other traps? Like, Mask Change is cool, I guess, if you want to play heroes. It's kind of the best way to play them right now still. Where are our broken-ass trap cards? I should probably just go to the trap card section, like Wall of D. Decent-ish card for ladder. Still not amazing. Of course, we do have the Treacherous up here as well, which is still a good card, but isn't seeing remotely anywhere near as much play as it used to. And apart from that, there's not really much else. We're just getting into the deep annals of Duel Links' history here. Jerry Beans Man is a very good one to pick. I do have a prismatic version of him, which is pretty cool. But beyond that, there's not really much else. Honestly, I do want to go and check real quick the card catalog, is it? That should tell us the popularity of our PvP cards, if I'm going to the right place. Yeah, popular cards, filtered by rarity. So, honestly, there's not much here. Like, if you look at the most popular super rare cards that we're just going down here, we have these guys you can't get in the tickets. We have Karma Cut, which you can get in ticket, very, very good card. We have the Light Spawn stuff, the Blue Eyes stuff, of course, it's in the structure deck. We have Treacherous, and then we have, Hey Trunade. If we were to just put on Spell and Traps, then again we would just see those, which to me is kind of it's just Karma Cut in it. This is a 15-minute video to tell you go buy Karma Cut if you haven't got it ready. If not, let me know down below what you're picking with this ticket, because it's definitely a more interesting one than the Ultra, I think, because everyone should have, 3 Karma Cards if they don't. Because at that point, it's then whatever tech card you need for your deck. If you're building a rogue deck, a fun deck, a meta deck, mainly meta decks are all kind of Ultra Rare based rather than Super Rare based. So right now, there's not really a go-to option in terms of main deck cards, but again, the Light Swan stuff, the Blue Eye stuff is always going to be a decent shout. Anyway, again, let me know what you're picking down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all in the next Duel Links video. See you then.